Welcome to Open Mic. All right, now so far what I've gotten as suggestions, my girl Leah said the Ghost of the Washington Bullets. I absolutely love that one. Of course, I am number 10, so Manute Bowl is a possibility. Of course, our producer Adam trying to burst my bubble called me Steve Urkel, so that is a suggestion as well. I myself just think I look like a tourist in D.C. in the 80s. If you want to suggest something else, hit me up between now and the break because I'm putting a poll out at the commercial. Welcome to this special spooky edition of Open Mic. We like to start the show with a few stories or a hot take on a story you're not likely to see anywhere else. You know I'm from gorgeous Prince George's, and now I spill the tea in D.C., so you know these jokes come from a place of love. Or today, terror. That fake laugh is awful. Let's start things off here in D.C. where the Halloween costumes on display this weekend did not disappoint. So let's get right to them. First up, we have Elise Anderson with this brilliant picture of conflicting DC parking signs and a ticket, because you got to include a ticket, which she calls mixed signals. Now, if you've ever tried to park in DC, you know this pain. This is the scariest thing I've ever seen because it's real. Next up, from over her district, we have the Dulles and Ashburn metro stops hanging out together because you need solidarity when you live in the sticks. I'm just playing Dulles and Ashburn. I love that y'all have metro so we can avoid paying tolls to get out there. This one came from our writer, Leon Scott, whose low-budget Jules Winfield costume only made the cut because he's standing next to Rerun from What's Happening. Now, if you're old enough to know who that is, it's almost bedtime, and you should probably get your prostate checked. Shout out to Thomas Pendleton for shaving off his beard to commit to the bit. That is hardcore. No word on if he started popping and locking. Finally, we have rapper Steven Redhead recreating the infamous Oscars slap at the hip-hop bar crawl on U Street this weekend. I present this one without commentary because it kind of speaks for itself. What did the five fingers say to the face? Okay, presented with just that one comment. Let us know which one you thought was the best, and no, you cannot vote for Leon Scott because even though I called it a costume, he actually does walk around like that most weekends. I chose this next story because when I say the stars dressed up for Halloween, I meant it in the most literal sense. NASA shared an image of the sun with what looks to be a smiley face, describing it as, quote, a giant space pumpkin. Just look at the sun, just out here looking like Jack Skellington or some sort of Lord of the Rings villain. I don't know. NASA broke down an explanation for this in a tweet that read, today, NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory caught the sun smiling. Seen in ultraviolet light, these dark patches on the sun are known as coronal holes and are, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with anything that precedes holes. And they are regions where fast solar wind gushes out into space. Now there you have it. The sun loves Halloween because NASA said so, and it's out here rocking the hottest costume ever. Headed to Canada for this next story, where 5-year-old Edmonton Oilers fan Easton Oetting won Halloween when his father built a costume that made his wheelchair look like an Oilers Zamboni.
DJ Oetting from Canada builds a special Halloween costume for his son Easton, who's battling a rare genetic disorder every year. So this year, what's the 5-year-old get? His very own Zamboni. He's a huge Edmonton Oilers fan, Boris and Amra. So this ice cleaner is all decked out in the perfect colors.
Wow, this is Dad of the Year material right here. Don't try this at home, by the way, if you're not handy. The homemade costumes my parents made probably should have been reported to CPS and not CNN. Subjecting your child to a struggle costume is something that will get unpacked years later on a therapist's couch. You learn these things when everybody else is dressed as Superman and you show up as Super Reese. But Easton Oetting has the best costume of the year, even better than the DC ones, even better than the sun. Yes, I said it. The boy outshined the sun. You did that, Eaton. Happy Halloween. Now let's head to New York City for this last story, where according to reports, Twitter is considering offering verified accounts to those willing to pay $19.99 a month for a subscription. $19.99! Y'all know it. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. And might take away existing blue check marks from users who aren't willing to pay for them. Welp, there goes my blue check mark. I'm way too cheap to pay for clout. I didn't care when he fired the Twitter executives, but now I am upset. Elon Musk is doing way too much. He needs to be taken down a peg. I know he's a billionaire, but he's out here coming, but my thousandaire pockets. I'm on TV, so you know what? Maybe I could shame WSA9 into paying for my check mark. But then again, what about the Twitter users who have a following but no public-facing corporate entity to scam? To publicly represent. This is an attack on the common influencer. If Twitter tries to hit me with a bill, you know what? I am standing in solidarity with the masses if I have to pay for it. If WSA9 foots the bill, then y'all on your own. But hey, I am still behind you in spirit. Free the blue check marks. My favorite story today? Well, first let us know which DC Halloween costumes you like the best. But it's hard to top Easton owning. I'm going with the Zamboni.